Hello again, and welcome to episode 9 in this series of tips and tricks for your eFob design. Um, this is the episode when we start carving out the buttons out of our surfaces. If we have a look at this one right here, you can see that these surfaces are rather complicated. So we are going to make a simplified version of these buttons right here. Since the last time I told you I was going to round up the edges for the pit, and I've done so. If we have a quick look at it, it looks something like this now, or we can use that one. Toggle the model and perhaps also turn on the symmetry. So right now the model looks something like this. We are going to use the bottom surface in this pit to create our buttons and also the black spaces in between this right here. Uh, so let's go back, turn off the symmetry, toggle the model back, and see what we got. I've also, as you can see down here, created a couple of curves. You know the drill. So I'm not going to bore you with that either. So if we go to the top view and have a look and also turn on the canvas plane, I've tried to capture the shape of these black areas or the outline of the actual buttons. I'm gonna start by making a copy of these curves like so. Control C and then Control V and move them up to the other one right here. Something like that. So we got a complete set of curves now to cut out our buttons. So if we go back to the perspective view, F8, like so, I'm going to start by projecting these curves onto this surface right here. So I go project, options box, make sure I have the correct direction, which is Z, and pick the curves. Yeah, we can just go like that, I think. And if we're happy with that, we hit project. Oops, I missed one there. That one needs to go there too. Project. Hmm. Oh, there we go. So now we have the outline of uh, the black areas. I want to have a slight gap between the black area and the shiny button. So what I'm gonna do next is to make an offset of these curves in order to catch the outline of the actual button. So I'm gonna make a tiny little offset of let's say 0.2, 0.1, 0.2 millimeters, meaning 1, 2 millimeters in our scale, which is 10 to 1. So I go curves and then curve and curve on surface offset and hit that curve right there. It, and click on the arrow to reverse the direction. It's already set to 2 millimeters here, so I can go ahead and click the other ones as I go along. Also, this contour, I want this gap as well. You can see the gap clearly here on the canvas plane. So we hit that one as well, and that one, and that one, something like that. And I'm going to go ahead and do it on all the other curves as well. I'll turn off the recording and get back to you. And here we are with our curves on surfaces defining all the buttons and all the black parts in between. So I'm going to turn off the canvas plane for now so you can see a little better. Also, we can take away those original curves. So something like this. Now, I want to trim this surface, but since they are different materials, then we will also apply different textures on these. I want to separate them from one another, and we do that by using the trim tool and trim divide. So let's do that. So trim, so I click on this area, this area, this area, this area, and that area, and go divide. Construction history, yes, I do want to continue, so okay. This creates copies of the original surface, but with different trimmings. So if I pick a surface here, I got that one, I got that one, I got that one, and that one, and they are all now independent. If I even got that one, yeah, and that one we can probably get rid of. There we go. So now we have this surface, that one, that one, that one, and also holes in between here, which is exactly what we wanted. Okay, time now to start creating the actual buttons. And we'll do that by creating a draft surface, as I showed you in an earlier video, all around the edge of this button right here. So we'll do that by using surfaces, multi-surface draft, set the angle to 180 degrees in the Z direction. So we'll start with that one and go next. That one next. That one next. And so on. Zoom in here. I don't need that one. So now we have the basic surfaces of the first button up here. If we shade it up, you can clearly see what that looks like now. We need to round off the edges here, obviously, and also create our draft surfaces on the other buttons and black parts in between. So I'm going to do that, turn off the recording, and get back to you in a second. Okay, so here we are. I've created all the vertical walls here, creating that little gap between the buttons, and it's surrounded. It looks something like this. And if we flip it over and look at the underside, you probably see it even better. It's time now to start rounding off the edges, starting with this button right here. And before we can round off this edge, you can see that we have a sharp corner here. That needs to be taken care of first. So let's just use our round tool, pick edges, and pick on that edge. And that's set to 0.2 millimeters. I want that to be slightly larger than that. Probably, let's set it to 4. Oh, well, we need to restart Set that to 4 and click on the edge and build. There we go. Now you see there's a slight little problem here. It did create our round, uh, but it's, first of all, it's sticking up right here. So it's not attaching to this edge here. And also we have a triangle left here that needs to be trimmed off. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to intersect our round surface with the top surface here. We then get a trim curve so that we can trim away this little triangle. Oh, discard. And also trim away or keep this part right here. That gives us a nice corner that we now can run the round all the way around here. So let's try that using the round tool. Keep our fingers crossed. So we go around and set that to a tiny little radius of, I think, only 0.2, meaning 2 millimeters. And start picking the edges here. And finally, that one right there, and go build. We go, yeah, that looks all right. Here is our first button with a nice consistent gap in between. We also need to round off this edge right here. So let's do that before we finish off this episode. We start clicking the edges. There we build. Big nothing. And we have a rounded edge here as well. So this is the manual way of creating split lines. In the next episode, we are going to take a look at how we can do that automatically. It has its limitations, but sometimes it works and it saves a lot of time. So see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.